Take one look and tens of millions are gone. Take another look, and tens of millions disappear again. Money vanishes not because of mistakes, but because time itself has turned against you. This is Shajing, Shenzhen. It used to be one of the most vibrant, crowded, and energetic places in the city. After work, you couldn't walk 10 meters without bumping into someone. Voices overlapped, lights stayed on late into the night, and the streets felt alive. Today, all of that feels like it belongs to another era. Everything here is stitched to memory now. What once symbolized speed, opportunity, and ambition has quietly turned into history. Even Shenzhen, the strongest of China's first-tier cities, can no longer hold its ground. There was a time when people said they were fleeing Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou just to come here. But now, when we talk about Shenzhen, there is nowhere left to escape. Since 1979, Shenzhen's story has been one of explosive population growth and economic miracles. From 2010 to 2020, its population surged at one of the fastest rates in the entire country. Growth was the default setting. Expansion felt endless. Yet last year, something changed. The air stopped smelling right. 1, 2, 3. Count them yourself. Prices no longer matter, because there's no one left to pay them. Look around. There are no families, no crowds. Just silence. Look again. Only a handful of stores are still open. Today, Shenzhen, the city once crowned as China's economic engine, stands on the edge of a complete breakdown. It was once said people were escaping Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou for Shenzhen. Now even Shenzhen itself is being abandoned. Foreign capital is pulling out. Business districts have gone cold. People say that in a city of 18 million, there are no people on the streets, no people in shopping malls, no people in restaurants, no people in office buildings, no people in wet markets. Even when you return to the countryside, the emptiness follows you. How long have you been closed? Several months. I finally got laid off. This environment, this reality has truly opened my eyes. A few days ago, I randomly picked a place to eat. What I saw nearly left me speechless. Before 8 in the evening, the street was already deserted. Not late night, not midnight, before 8. Out of disbelief, I kept walking. In less than 5 minutes, I counted at least 8 shuttered storefronts. The video tells the story clearly. Step out of the elevator in a mall on Longhuo Street, and 2 shops immediately display the same message. Prime shop for transfer. One is a hair salon. A few steps further, a Northeast Chinese restaurant also marked for transfer. Next, a cold noodle shop, already closed. Walk less than 30 seconds more, and there's a handmade barbecue place gone. Another storefront shows the same sign. Prime shop for transfer. Walk on. That's the 6th. Right next to it, a clothing store also up for transfer. That's 7. A little further down, beside a small machine selling stall, yet another sign appears. Transfer. Transfer, transfer. Closed, closed, closed. This one has closed too. Today we're standing in the core of Bao'an Central District at Excellence Shanghai Times. When this project first launched, even with 300,000 yuan, you couldn't buy a shop here. That was the price of belief. 8 years later, walk around and count how many are still operating. There are barely any. The reasons are clear. First, the office towers above suffer from extremely high vacancy rates. Second, the layout is chaotic, killing natural foot traffic. And most critically, the once hyped Happy Coast nearby failed to bring people in. Instead of feeding the area, it drained it dry. On the last day of 2025, across WeChat, Douyin, and other mainland platforms, complaints flooded in. Yesterday we were still working. Today the factory is closed, and the boss has disappeared. In one video, dozens of workers in Guangdong stand silently inside a workshop. No shouting, no protests, just helplessness. Some bloggers admit there are things they cannot say clearly. Saying too much brings trouble. The truth is, Shenzhen's decline didn't happen overnight. It has been unfolding in plain sight for years. Would you believe someone once paid over 400,000 yuan for a shop here? Today, that same type of shop in a night market struggles to sell for 95,000 yuan, about the cost of a single month's rent. Located in Longgang District, listed on Shenzhen's main transaction platform, the numbers look unreal, but the sleepless nights are real. 90% of people can't sleep. Supermarket owners can't sleep. Restaurant owners can't sleep. Home goods sellers can't sleep. I work as a rental agent. This month, the market is terrible. Plenty of people want to rent, but deals rarely close. I've been anxious nonstop. Those worse off than me are homeowners and apartment owners. Some are desperate just to find a tenant. After multiple failed viewings, foot traffic keeps shrinking. I can't sleep at night. Those who slash prices again and again don't sleep either. In today's Shenzhen, which industry still sleeps peacefully? Observers point out 6 abnormal signs. First, Shenzhen was once a city built by outsiders, a high-end industrial hub fueled by migrant labor. That magnet is gone. After the Lunar New Year, many workers simply never returned. Second, once booming commercial zones are now frozen. Brands withdraw. Empty shops multiply. Real business grows harder by the day. Third, housing prices once untouchable are now falling again and again. Second-hand listings surge, and prices change almost daily. Fourth, companies are relocating out of Shenzhen, leaving office towers hollow. Fifth, wages keep dropping. Around 4,000 yuan a month is now considered normal. Even then, jobs are scarce. People rush into food delivery just to survive. And now, it's not only men delivering food, women are doing it too. Yet even delivery isn't what it used to be. Total orders have dropped sharply. Platforms show strange patterns, long waits, fewer rewards. Delivery workers feel no joy in life anymore. Daytime teams can't form. Nights are the only option. Even landing a decent order feels like luck. A high-speed run earns only 40 or 50 yuan. Making 100 yuan in a day feels almost impossible. So, let me ask you, what was your happiest moment in 2015? What was your happiest moment in 2015? What was your happiest moment in 2015? China's economy is under severe pressure. Since November 2025, conditions have worsened further. Retail sales of consumer goods fell by 2.9%, marking 6 straight months of slowdown. Industrial producer prices dropped again. Purchasing prices fell. The producer price index slid deeper into a prolonged slump. In the first 11 months of 2025, the official urban unemployment rate stood at 5.2%, not counting nearly 300 million migrant workers. For 2 decades, these workers formed the backbone of China's infrastructure boom and real estate expansion. Now, as investment retreats and property collapses, their crisis is emerging in full force. Rising unemployment means one thing. Life in 2026 will be even harder. After midnight, at Longhua Railway Station, people sleep along the roadside. These are not tourists. They are migrant workers who came here chasing work, now resting on concrete under streetlights, still waiting for a future that once seemed guaranteed. China's economy is entering a visible and prolonged downturn that is no longer theoretical but deeply felt in everyday life. Economic slowdown is no longer measured only by statistics, but by empty streets and shuttered businesses. Commercial districts that were once crowded now feel hollow and quiet. Falling revenues have pushed many companies to the edge of survival. Optimistic slogans about recovery can no longer mask the reality on the ground. The weakness has spread from manufacturing to services and then to consumer spending. Confidence, once the engine of growth, is now steadily eroding. Unemployment has become one of the most pressing fears, especially for young people and low-skilled workers. Many university graduates are unable to secure stable jobs despite years of education. Temporary work, low wages, and informal employment are becoming the new normal. Factories are reducing shifts, offices are cutting staff, and startups are shutting down in large numbers. Some workers lose their jobs overnight with little warning or protection. As a result, many turn to food delivery or gig work simply to survive, yet even these jobs are becoming overcrowded and increasingly unstable. Bankruptcies are no longer isolated incidents but a widespread trend across multiple industries. Small businesses collapse first, followed by medium-sized firms struggling to stay afloat. Even large corporations are scaling back operations and entering defensive mode. Foreign capital is quietly withdrawing as investors reduce exposure or exit the market altogether. Industrial parks and office buildings are left half empty, reflecting shrinking economic activity. Supply chains that once fueled rapid growth are now fragmented and weakened. The retreat of capital has created a gap that domestic investment struggles to fill. Migrant workers are among the hardest hit by this economic decline. Without steady jobs, many can no longer afford rent and are forced to sleep outdoors. Train stations, sidewalks, and underpasses become temporary shelters at night. Some carry worn-out luggage while waiting for job opportunities that may never come. These workers once formed the backbone of China's construction and manufacturing sectors. Now they are pushed to the margins, largely invisible and unsupported. Their presence on the streets is a stark and undeniable sign of a deeply strained economy.